with you. I'm not even going to play the opening theme tonight, as we'll save that for another time. We're just going to get right to the show. And as many of you know, you've read in enough different media outlets tonight, we're going to have the celebration, the one-year anniversary of Howie Chizek's life. It was 1 year ago tonight, and I will never forget it, never, until the day I die, when I was on the air and the production guy came in just right when I was on the air live and said, "You need to get to the phone immediately. The Kaiser's on the phone." Now, I thought maybe I had said a bad word over the air because I knew that's just not possible. He wouldn't have done that. So I immediately hung up on the caller. We went to a commercial. I went in the production room. I picked up the phone, and he said, "Bob, you better sit down. Howie Chizek has passed away." So I said, "What do you want me to do?" And I remember and this was all in a matter of seconds because I had to get back to the air. We only had a 60-second spot running, and I said, "What do you want me to do?" And he said, "We need to get the information out before the other media outlets do." I said, "Well, I have to get back in the studio. Text me." And my heart was racing, and I came back in, and as many of you know, we were all listening, I started the show back up, and within seconds I got a text that released the information. And that, of course, started a plethora of craziness here, and instead of closing the show at 10 o'clock, we kept going till somewhere around 1:30 in the morning. Bob Earley, being as classy as he is, came in around 11:30 to help me, and we sit here and fielded your calls and listened to your sadness and your stories all night, and now here we are 1 year from that date. So I would like to first make an announcement. Well, let me tell you what we're going to do first. We're going to play a tape. This tape was provided to us by Richard Ward, who is a listener. It is very important that you listen to me, what I'm going to tell you right now, because this is from me, your friend Bob Earley. And you know I would never lie to you. The station is making not 1 penny from this show tonight. Not 1 penny. Nor is any employee of WNIR. Bob and Bill Klaus, the gregarious owners of this radio station, due to all the letters and emails that you folks sent, because you know they took Howie's voice off the air immediately after he passed away, so none of you have heard that voice in a year, decided due to popular demand, after they had talked to Mr. Ward, that they would release these recordings and give you this 66-minute show. So I just want to tell you this. This is the announcement text right here. This is directly from Bob Klaus. And I quote, "WNIR would like to thank one of our listeners, Richard Ward, for providing us the recordings he made of Howie's program on June the 14th of last year. Mr. Ward also recorded approximately 75 minutes of Howie's last broadcast on June the 15th. If you would like a copy of this on CD, he will make it available for you for a $15 fee, which includes the shipping. He also has Howie's program from June the 11th. You can request recordings of 1 or all 3 dates for a cost of $15 per CD. If you want all 4 of them combined, they will do it for a cost of $30. The total set will include about 4 hours of Howie's last programs. To get a CD of Howie's last program, call Richard Ward. Here's the number. Write this down. 330-546-6379. Or you can email him at ward3829@yahoo.com. Again, call Richard Ward, 330-546-6379, or email him at ward3829 at yahoo.com. WNIR is not selling these CDs and will not receive any compensation for them or for this promotion. But they want to thank, and all of us do, Mr. Ward for providing the service to the WNIR listeners and Howie fans. I will just share one more thing before we get started. This will be the first time I've heard this tape also. I did hear about 4 minutes of it 2 days ago. And I'm going to tell you guys know how I am about ghosts and all that kind of crazy stuff anyway. It was eerie as hell. And it was, so get your tissues out, get everything out, and we're going to go directly to this broadcast. We will run no commercials for the next 66 minutes. And then I will take your calls and we'll reminisce about our good friend, in a good way and positive way, the great one, Howie Chizek. Here we go.
This is the Talk of Akron, WNIR 100 FM. Call now, 330-673-1234. Toll free from anywhere, 800-669-4100. Now here's Howie Chizek.
me the janitors aren't in a union? You don't know. You've never been around. The janitors, the OPSI, they're all union. Those.
I was just trying to make the world's most perfect analogy.
Yeah, well, you're just showing your colors.
Oh, don't be silly.
You booming bigot.
Don't be silly. I said Bush broke the washer. Obama said, please, I can fix it, so we hired him.
Did you see the link I sent you that some crazy people on HBO had President Bush's head on a pike or something, and there's some controversy? We'll get to that when it breaks in.
Nothing new about that.
Yeah, I know. Now, I was very glad to hear that on Phil Ferguson. Hey, Phil. Here, Phil's pay to participate is the new word, because they had to change their language
because of me.
Because of you, once again, you're changing America.
Pay to play? You better play me.
It's called pay to participate.
And that is participating in the team. It doesn't mean you ever play.
Yeah, now I want to get to the water in Brimfield and Portage County.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite. First of all, the runoff fee that I'm being charged by the federal government.
I don't pay any such thing.
I know you don't, because you pay through the nose up there in Cleveland. But
I don't pay. No. Oh, no, my water's not expensive.
We don't care about you. You're single and
sorry.
rich. Okay, no.
And what was the first part?
Single and rich.
You know, all these, may I throw this in? For like 50 years, people said, how come you're not married?
Yeah.
All right. Now, over the last couple of years, people tell me, you're the smartest man that ever lived.
Well, anyhow, now listen, West Branch...
Because nobody ever wanted me.
Oh, Bull, you're just a big chicken.
I'm not committing to that.
West Branch and Berlin, the reservoirs, and a couple of these reservoirs, some of the people are telling me that I had a guy out here that was doing some work, and he said he might not be able to get his boat in by July 4th because their water levels are so low. Ask me why the water levels are so low.
Well, because at one time at Lake Rockwell, they moved the dam, and the water levels are very high now at Lock. I don't know was the answer to the question.
Okay, well, here's the deal. All the billions of pounds of weight that those dams put on the fault line, they were blaming it on the injection well in Youngstown, when in fact it was all the weight they were putting. So the Federal Army Corps of Engineers, they realized that these dams were artificially made by man, not God. They weren't intended, and all that extra weight is what's causing the earthquakes out here. So they're taking the weight off.
Nothing's causing the earthquakes. It's God's will.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, the one that knocked you off your couch up there.
That was God's will.
Yeah.
Besides, the only time the neighbor lady came over alone, it was all right.
Yeah. Hey, now listen. The Brimfield has 2 water wells. They get their water from down by Grace Road, down there by, there's a golf course off of Talmadge Road. So they have 2 water wells, okay? Now, that supplies whatever. This Pennsylvania company is kind of new, and they offer water, but it's supplied by Brimfield. They don't truck in water from Pennsylvania, in other words. What they did is Brimfield laid their lines, and this company supplies the water under contract. Now, that goes to a couple of housing developments. Then, if they run out of water or get low, they can get it from Ravenna through Rootstown, because Rootstown gets its water from Ravenna. But they don't get anything from Kent or from Summit County. Now, here's the issue. The surface water is from Lake Hodson. That serves Ravenna and Rootstown. They get their water from the surface, from Lake Hodson, whereas the other people get their water from underground. Now, you get your water from Lake Erie, right, from the city of Cleveland?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so the question is, which is better to the enviro-Nazis out here? Which would they rather have? Do they want us to take the water from underground, or do they want us to take the water from the surface?
Oh, I'm yielding to you. I'm not a water expert.
I'm saying, because that liberal crazy woman down there in Muskingum Watershed, she went running around saying, oh, they're drinking Clendenny Lake and Leesville, they're giving it to fracking, they're taking the surface water. So the bottom line is...
Was that the crazy lady that said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Then, there was one other thing. back to Obama, this whole, that analogy I want to tell you, it doesn't matter. Bill Clinton said this years ago, and doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's where you place the blame. And that's what Obama's doing. He's placing the blame back on Bush, back on Bush, back on Bush. So,
Will it? MSNBC says it'll work. Will America buy it again?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they'll buy that,
Well,
no.
because the certain ethnic people, the Israelis and other people that funded him, they're not going to send their money to Obama now. Now, if money is a grand equalizer, it won't. You know what I'm saying? Now, and the Federal Reserve came out and said, well, we're going to try to, what can they do? They can't lower the rate below zero. Right? I mean, the rates are so low now; they're virtually 0%. Okay, so what happened is the Federal Reserve in 02, 03. I used to have my chart. I think it was 03 to 05. Remember, they raised every 90 days, every quarter. They raised the prime rate 0.25%. Killed the economy.
Yes, that was under Clinton.
No, Bush did it in 2000.
It was under
Bill Clinton did it too. No, Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton's people did it first. They raised the No, I am right. It was under Clinton. They raised the interest 0.25% 9 times in a row. Yes, it was under Clinton.
Bill Clinton lowered George Herbert, the old man, who just turned 80.
Yeah, he lowered it, and then he raised it back up with that money man.
I mean, what? All right, I don't want to argue that.
Go ahead.
It's okay.
Did you know that you won't be able to have a yard sale or a flea market in the city of Kent without a second-hand dealer's license?
That's what I was calling about. My lovely wife.
How come nobody had a cover letter with this information? I actually had to read this.
Well, because that's all they had, and my wife was visiting that person that dropped it off yesterday, and she said, take that out to the station house.
Yeah, but you have to tell me what it is.
Well, that's not our fault.
All right, well, let's.
Okay.
According to this, no person shall purchase, exchange, sell, or trade any items of second-hand articles without first obtaining a swap shop second-hand dealer's license from the city manager. That says this is crossed out. So how much is the license?
Well, this was the controversy. It was originally going to be $200.
It was originally going to be $200 for a year.
Right.
So what is it now?
Well, that's what they're going to think. They're saying it's going to be $20, but it's really not.
I think $200 is a more fair price.
Come on, are you an idiot?
Because you don't need a swapper shop no more.
Oh, sure.
You gotta buy it your regular business.
Yeah, it says the guy that made his millions selling his soul for rock and roll. The poor guy out here. What is a junk dealer? I think it's a pejorative term that they even have it in Code 773. Junk dealer. One man's junk. Come on. What's your definition of junk, Fred Sanford?
Well, but I think you should be engaged in a legitimate business.
It is legitimate. Why?
Well, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with a junkyard because the man has a license.
Well, no, this is the thing. There's a book dealer in Kent. He's been there since Christ was in diapers. My mother-in-law was on.
Was that before Jesus' bar mitzvah?
That is correct.
Oh.
They want him to end. The guy that dropped that off. They want to enter. What do I want to say?
I don't know. It's a word that's missing here.
So you get me inventory. They want him to inventory 5,000 books every day. Every day he sells something. They want him to.
Well, but the people of Kent have a right to ask that because they're like that.
No, they don't.
Yes, they have a right to. I think $200 is a fair price to have a yard sale.
It's not a yard sale.
What is it?
It is if you want to drive a truck and go through and pick the garbage, which has been going on.
Oh, garbage pickers. I support them.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's what's the difference between garbage pickers and junk?
Yeah, but you're telling me that they resell the stuff. Then they have to have a $200 license.
Why?
Because God thought that way.
Why do we have to have government in the way?
So what you're saying is, if I go garbage picking in the city of Kent and load up my Sanford & Son truck,
yes,
Or in Youngstown, my old friend Dr. Titus J. McAllister, who was a wonderful, wonderful man, who told me more about life than you ever did. Anyhow, he has passed. You're saying then these people shouldn't have a right to sell the stuff they junk picked unless they should have a license.
I'm saying the city of Kent is anti-business. They're
into pro-university business.
Here's what they're doing. They want to have their kind of business. They're spending money and they're playing Monopoly. They're moving this business here, the trophy business by the Kent stage. They paid them to relocate Jimmy John's.
They have the sub sandwich man. Yeah, the guy with the subs.
What?
The sub sandwich man.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm all for that. What I'm saying is if these people voluntarily want to move and they want to do this and they want to do this, but what I'm saying is grandfather in these little mom and pop situations. Why do they have to come in?
Well, but what do they have to do with selling secondhand merchandise?
Well, they're classifying. Here's my problem with they're classifying all the American literature classics in an academic city as junk. Tales of Great.
No, I'm with you. Junk is from the junk collector.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're calling legitimate businesses that reclaim chairs and legitimate people.
Oh no, I'm on your side. Oh, you've convinced me.
Yeah, they're finally.
Took me a while.
It did. It's okay. So you gonna come out to Rose's Run tonight?
I have to do some other things tonight, but that's a very lovely thing, and I think Jill is spectacular.
You know what? I'll give her your hug.
Give her a kiss.
Me, okay?
Very good. Thank you, my friend.
Bye.
Did we figure this out? The city of Kent, no person shall purchase, exchange, trade, sell, or receive secondhand articles or engage in the business of purchasing, exchanging, trading, selling, or receiving secondhand articles without first receiving a secondhand dealer's license, which was supposed to be $200. Maybe it's going to be $20. Like I say, I'm not much into that after my bad experience with American Pickers. I thought it was pure gold. You're on the air. Go ahead. I bought it from an Amish man. You're on the air. Go ahead, please. Hello. Yes, go ahead with your call, please. Hello. It's a delight to have you with us. Are you there? Thank you. Hi, you're on the air. Good afternoon, please. Everybody flying their flag today? I certainly hope some of you folks in the city are. WNIR, you're on the air, please.
Good afternoon, Howard.
Good afternoon.
Can I make a comment on your analogy about
hiring the man to fix the washer? I've got some people who are supporting me. What do you think?
Well, here's what the way I look at it. The Republican administration for 8 years were the people that broke it, right?
Well, no, it was the Clinton administration who broke it before them.
Alrighty.
Oh, you can play that game of infinitum, right?
Well, Karl Rove is looking to be the new helper for Mr. Romney with giving him hundreds of millions of dollars. So he's going to play a role in Romney's administration. Newt Gingrich might play a role. Rick Van Torn might play a role. Rick Perry might play a role.
So
you're getting the whole same gang back in there that was in there before.
If the man begs me to hire him to fix the washer, and after 4 years Obama didn't fix the washer,
I agree with you.
I hire another repairman.
But get a different group of repairmen, not the same.
Well, but wait a second. That doesn't mean the repairman has to bring the same assistant that broke it in the first place.
Well,
I have to get rid of a repairman if he doesn't fix the washer in 4 years. It's America's most perfect analogy. I ought to receive some kind of an award, probably from the local universities.
Let me ask you one more thing.
Why, of course.
I was just listening to the Couchburner conversation, and it kind of struck me unusual that he called you every name in the book, but you didn't hang up.
Why would I hang up on him?
Well, other people, if they call you an idiot or bigot or chicken, you'd hang up on them.
Yeah, but he didn't mean it. The other people mean it. I know who means it and doesn't means it.
Okay. Well,
He only did it for the ratings. use all the help I can get.
Why does he call you Cheesehead?
Because that's what they called me in 3rd grade.
Really?
See, in my day, I was called Cheesehead. And this boy over here was Fats. And this kid over here was Red. See, it was okay to call people names. It was fun. But nowadays, everybody's a psychological maniac, and you can't call people. I was Cheesehead. I was also Chiseltooth. How about that one?
I think there's a fine line
between what?
When you're calling somebody a name, whether you understand how they mean it or not.
Hey, Fatso. How about hey, Fagatino? They use that one. That was the old Italian expression.
Well, it depends on the person you're addressing the name to, I guess.
Well, it would be a person that was a best friend of yours.
It'll have to be, because if you go down to certain areas in different cities and you start calling those kind of names,
they would understand.
Wind up in the hospital.
No. Nicknames, but they don't allow nicknames. Fats, Baldy, Slant Eyes, all. That's perfectly from the old days. Everybody had a nickname.
Can I switch to the levees real quick?
Why, certainly.
In Cleveland, Ohio, they're putting up that $500 million
Medical Mart.
And you know how they funded it?
What are they going to? Yeah, they put it on the ballot.
No, they didn't put it on.
Yes, they did. They put it on the ballot. It's a 0.25%.
Put it on without a vote.
No, they voted on it. It's 0.25%. The people voted for it.
The people didn't vote, though. They just put it on. They're allowed under the state law to put a 0.25% tax.
I thought the people voted for that.
No, it was not voted on.
Are you saying this Jimmy DeMore is behind this?
Well, here's what
He was the commissioner.
Why do we need levies when every county in all 88 counties can put a 0.25% sales tax on without a vote of the people, and they keep putting on these levies at the same time? Why don't we fund schools through sales tax instead of levies?
There are legal reasons for that. I don't know all the ramifications.
Well, they could put up a $500 million.
But they can't do it. Remember, the city of Akron pulled a bait and switch on the school taxes, and now the city owns the schools because they can't be schools. They're government buildings, right?
This was a county sales tax.
Well, I don't know one from another. They all look like me.
And
so you're saying, why doesn't the community just shove you cannot shove through any tax for the schools. You cannot do it.
What I'm saying is we don't need any levies. We just put an extra sales tax on. That's all.
So what happens when you get to 25% sales tax? Who's going to buy in your community?
No, if they can raise $500 million for a MedMart for private businesses, then they could put the $500 million instead of a MedMart to schools.
You can't do it that way. It doesn't work for schools.
Well,
can't do it. I guess they would have done it already if they could.
They're just too deep.
They have to put it on as a vote of the people.
Getting back to can I say something about the water?
Go ahead quickly.
There's microscopic organisms in any water, whether it's Lake Erie or any lake. It's called cryptosporidium.
Yeah, well, all you have to do if you want to see all the evil in the world, get a microscope. All the evil's crawling all around you.
Well, your water has these cryptosporidiums, and they have tons of chlorine.
Well, tell those teenage boys not to do that in the bath.
No, there's certain things you can't even get out of the water unless you boil it.
All right, so I agree. So drink your water and mix it with something. Use some of those they used to call them fizzies. You drop the tablets in there. They're like Alka-Seltzer.
Well, the only way to really get it clean is distilled water. Do you use distilled?
No, I drink it out of the tap. It's wonderful.
All the health people say distilled is the best.
Well, you could buy distilled.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's only $1 a gallon.
$1 a gallon? Well, I know Cleveland. You should see what the water rates are going to. So, all right, well, just boil it.
You ain't nothing in those water rates. They're going to go up sky high.
Well, I don't use water. I drink iced tea. You have a nice day.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Well, it's the outdoor season, and Prime 93 has new things happening all the time. That wonderful restaurant, Prime 93, in the Portage Lakes. The fabulous outdoor patio is a wonderful place to make and meet friends and unwind after a long day. Their beautiful patio at Prime 93 is offering live entertainment in their spectacular lounge every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. For a complete entertainment listing, go to prime93.com. Check all the dates and schedules. And remember, Prime now has new hours, Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday open 11 a.m. till 10, and Saturdays 4 until 10 p.m. Now, this is the dining room. The lounge and bar is always open later. Stop by Prime 93 for a fabulous meal in the lounge, the main restaurant, or the beautiful outdoor patio. Make a reservation, call Prime 93 at 330-644-2239, or just stop by Prime 93 for lunch, dinner, and after wonderful supper. You might want to have a second supper, as some people do. That's very much fine dining.
WNIR would like to thank listener Richard Ward for providing the recording he made of Howie's program on June 14th of last year. Mr. Ward also recorded approximately 75 minutes of Howie's last broadcast on June 15th and 45 minutes of Howie's program on June 11th. You can purchase Howie's last June 15th program on CD for $15, including shipping, or the total set of 4 CDs for only $30. That's about 4 hours of Howie's last programs. To order CDs of Howie's last programs, call Richard Ward at 330-546-6379 or email him at ward3829@yahoo.com. That's WARD3829@yahoo.com. Again, call Richard Ward at 330-546-6379 or email him at ward3829@yahoo.com. WNIR is not selling these CDs and will not receive any compensation for them. And we thank Mr. Ward for providing this service to WNIR listeners and Howie's fans.
AirTran, the #2 airline in America for service, which is being bought out by Southwest. Hope the service stays good.
This is the Talk of Akron, WNIR 100 FM. Call now, 330-673-1234. Toll free from anywhere, 800-669-4100. Now, here's Howie Chizek.
Carol Beasley, the mother of 52-year-old Richard Beasley, who has been charged in the Craigslist murder, says her son is innocent. The thing is that her son looks like her father. I mean, this guy looks old. How you're out? Life can do that to you. How you're on the air, please?
Hello, Howard?
Yes.
Hey, I've been, a couple of things caught my attention in the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was about the KKK applying to maintain a stretch of the U.S. highway.
I'm not familiar with it, but it sounds intriguing. Like the Boy Scouts or a military cleanup crew wants to have a stretch of the highway. Okay. What state is this?
I'm not really sure.
But it does play into the story, but I'm not sure either. I'm assuming it's nowhere around here.
Well, even if it is,
Yeah.
you know,
There's no reason why. Can we deny them?
I doubt it.
We probably can't deny them. Now, they can apply. That doesn't mean they're going to win the Who makes the decision like this, state or the county?
I'm assuming the state would, or maybe federal, since it's a U.S. highway.
Oh, is it?
It
Okay.
might depend on...
I mean, I would prefer not to see this stretch of road is sponsored by the Ku Klux Klan. I prefer not to see that.
Why? I think that...
Because I think bad people should be out of sight, out of mind.
And I think the thought was that they may be trying to do something that would recruit them new members.
How?
I think that...
How does that happen?
I have no idea, but this is part of the controversy.
What do they have to do? Pay money to have a stretch of a highway named after them?
I don't know how they do that.
I mean, now if it said...
I think they probably just have to have an agreement, don't they? That, and they probably have to have the money to do the cleanup.
Is that what they're doing, cleaning up, or are they having the road named after them?
Well, if they clean up a stretch, and then I guess you are given the name, because I know some of the highways that I ride on around here, you know, it's a Veterans Highway or...
Well, for example, it might say, this is Sergeant Bob Menendez Highway, this stretch of Route 59.
Right.
That's an honor. Obviously, the sergeant didn't ask for it. That's an honor bestowed upon him by the state or the county, I assume.
But I evidently there is application. That's not something that given.
I didn't even know that.
I couldn't decide that I wanted to do.
I didn't know the Ku Klux Klan still existed.
Well, obviously, or
it does.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Evidently, if they apply
They're still there.
the night of the Ku Klux Klan, then evidently they do still exist. I think that's what this show that I was watching, people were wanting to know, should they be allowed or should they not be allowed?
Well, they have a right to be allowed. What if you had the, this Jerry Sandusky stuff's in the news. What if you had the kiddie porn of the Mambla people apply? How would you'd have to at least look at their application.
Right. I think that's what it was about. If you can discriminate against one, you can discriminate against all. Or if it meets, say, federal guidelines for highway cleanup or, you know.
Sure.
There is always a way, a loophole to get out of something.
I would imagine so. Anything else, my dear?
Yeah, the other one was the military veteran suicide rate. It's evidently extremely high. And a lot of it is with non-combatant veterans, which was quite surprising to me.
I agree. Now, you know, the numbers always were that more people killed themselves after they came back from Vietnam than actually died in Vietnam.
Right. Well, this is what they're saying that's happening now, is that there are a lot of veterans that are coming back killing themselves, but there are a lot of them that have been in service but not in combat.
That would be difficult to comprehend. Why would a person who was stationed in New Jersey kill themselves?
And maybe it wasn't New Jersey. It could have been overseas.
Could have been.
Or seeing combat but not actually in it.
Very possible. I'm going to have to run the news. Thank you very much for your topics. Very nice of you. Thank you kindly. Let's take a break. We'll come back. If you were driving in the Washington, D.C. area last night, you saw a flying saucer on the back of a flatbed truck. It was one of our newest drones. So once again, Michelle, who emails us from southern Georgia, the KKK wants to adopt part of the highway, keep it clean, and then there would be a sign, the KKK is keeping this section of highway clean. The state of Georgia is trying to stop it. They may have to disband the entire Adopt a Highway program in order to stop this, which would be very sad because the program is very successful here in Georgia. I want to say a big hello to all our Georgia listeners. Howie, I love listening to you during my lunch hour. You made me laugh. I busted up when you said your childhood nickname was Chiseltooth. Wasn't Cheesehead, it was Chiseltooth. That's right. I also agree totally on your repairman comparison, which, by the way, is our Falls Heating and Cooling Comfort Maker Heating and Cooling Equipment poll. Today in Cleveland, Obama will explain it's not his fault. He inherited the lousy economy. Well, I think the presidency is like the repairman for your washer. The other president broke it. You asked us to hire you. You've had 4 years to fix the washer. Now you haven't fixed the washer in 4 years, so let's get another repairman. Would you keep the same one around?
This is the talk of Akron.
Most people don't even keep husbands around.
Call now, 330-673-1234. Toll free from anywhere. 800-669-4100. Now here's Howie Chizek.
75 degrees outside. Here we go. And you're on the radio. Go ahead with your fine call, please.
Good afternoon, Howie.
Good afternoon.
Wanted to extend our thank yous from the people of Norton. We appreciated all that information, and we're going to have a nice discussion tonight at the community center.
In reference to what?
In reference to the expansion of the sewer system. It's going to supposedly cost $60,000 and could cost homeowners $15,000 in assessments and up to $20,000 for hookups.
Almost as much as the people in Portage County were going to pay to get rid of their septic system and go on to the hookup of their system, which the state is going to mandate, and they're pretending it's not going to be like that.
Oh, it's only money. But I said
it's only money. We'll go on out to the money tree, and then we'll also pass all the levies, too.
Exactly. That's what they want. They want fire levy. They can't even afford to pay their firemen, the EMS people, to keep them there 24/7.
Well,
and they have to shut down the fire department at 10 o'clock.
This is not a slap at teachers. It's only a slap at why is college expensive. The local college professor makes $25,000 a year less than the public school kindergarten teacher in my area.
I believe that.
College people don't get paid nothing. That's why college is so expensive. But we won't go there. What's on your agenda here?
Well, I just wanted to say, thanks and for informing the people of Norton to get out and support all the elderly. There's people here that just can't afford to do this right now, and the city's saying that it's a health issue and that there's fines being threatened and everything. But all it is, it's a economic development, and they want people, the individual property owners, to pay for this to attract business. So this way they can double dip. They could go ahead and tax the new corporations coming in. They can tax their wages. They can tax the sales and their property. Plus, they can tax the homeowners as well. So they'll have more than enough revenue. And
well, I think we have come to an era where the schools or this agency or that group, everybody thinks we deserve to have better, and the answer is no. We're just going to get by with what we have. We don't want better for the children. We don't want better for the elderly. We're just going to maintain and do the best we can with 49% of America either receiving various retirement benefits or are on the public dole.
We're simple people out here, Howie. We just want to be left alone. That's all.
Heard that one before. Thank you. I think the South once said that to the North. You have a nice day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. 21 past the hour. Good afternoon, and you're on the air, please. Good afternoon. Your turn. Hello. Thank you. Hi, you're on the air, please.
Hi, Howie. How's it going?
Fine, thank you.
The Norton thing, I just caught a little bit of that about the water thing. I don't think Norton really has a grasp. They need to just let Barberton annex them into be a real city, and Norton could be a lot nicer place without crapping in your backyard. I hope I can say that. The well system, if anybody wants to look online at pollution and the kind of pollution that you have in an area, our number one pollutant in ground pollution is septic. So that's all they're saying. They just want to have people to stop doing where they eat. That's kind of what's going on.
Oh,
and as far as being left alone, that's one of the most racist communities you can ever be in also.
Whoa. Who, Norton?
Oh, yeah.
Norton is a racist community.
Family that lives there. Oh, wait a minute. There aren't any.
Well, maybe nobody who's black wants to live there.
No, because they have, and that's what I'm telling you. It's a very, very, very racist community.
Norton is I never heard that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that Norton was a racist community.
A lot of people don't speak the truth. That's what politics is pretty much made up of.
So does Norton think less kindly of Barberton? I always thought
Yeah,
that...
they don't want Barberton because they think if Barberton annexes them or becomes, they become a city with them and they can share the big school and actually have a nice school for the kids to go to and actually see a little bit of what the real world's all about. They think that it'll drop their property values. The exact opposite will happen of what they all think. That's the other comical part.
So are most of the people in Norton having well water? Is that it?
Yeah,
They don't have a city hookup.
Well, and where they do have it, the way it's done, everybody that's in Norton that has been forced to have city sewer, the way it's being done now, they don't like it because, it's not being organized and being done in an organized, democratic way where everybody shares the cost, everybody shares the wealth. And if they get involved with it and stop just saying no, they can have that. But it takes some initiative and it takes some effort on their part instead of just saying how it's so terrible. It's not terrible. Barberton is a really nice city, and it could be a little nicer if it had some tax revenue from a place like Norton. It's a give and take.
Well, wait a second.
You're not going to get city utilities without paying out the nose if you're in Norton.
But will the people of Barberton vote for their own skill levy? 8.5 mils? That's not chump change.
No, but and this is something else. With the kind of demographics Barberton has, where not a lot of the people pay much tax anyway, you'll probably get it back. If you had a demographic with a combination of Norton and Barberton, you might not get it back.
Oh.
Think about that. That's it. There's benefits in every, on each side. If you have a more conservative base, or at least an equaled out conservative base, you may get some people that are liberal to understand the business of it, that you can't raise taxes like that on property owners. Unless you do, you got to have something for it besides just a bunch more money to broken down school system. If you have all...
So Norton is racist. They tend to be conservative. They want their septic and their sewer, and they don't want to be bothered by you city folk.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, but that's what you were telling me. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I was just mimicking what you said.
To sum it up crudely, I'd say, yeah, that's what it is. But it's more of them being, manipulated by ads and whatever, by people saying, this is bad, because they keep their good old boy network in place, and that's why they're going to get this sewer and water thing shoved down their throat, because they don't have a real municipal decision-making tank or whatever, a way to keep this stuff from happening without a radio station. It's not even, anything to do with Norton for any reason, but if it wasn't for you guys, they would have got crammed down their throat.
All right.
What's wrong with being a real city where that kind of stuff doesn't happen?
I'm just going to throw it out, and we'll see who salutes, all right?
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you. The little Norton Barberton tit for tat. You're on the air. Go ahead, please. Hello there. Good afternoon. You're on the air at 26 past. Are you there? You're on the radio, please. Go right ahead.
Would that be me?
That is you indeed.
Oh, hey, I just wanted to mention about the sewers and stuff, even down south, one of the biggest problems they're having right now with some of the sewer systems is it's not municipal waste, it's medicinal waste. You get a lot of these people, and a lot of people don't think of it, but you get on some cancer medicine, some of that stuff's pretty strong. You pass that through your body, where does it go? It goes into the sewer system, like, say, down there in Akron Peninsula Road. And, all the medical waste from the hospital, everything ends up down in there. And, you look at all the stuff from...
Well, they clean it up. It comes out pure.
No, it's one of the only things they don't test the water for is medicinal waste. And the biggest problem is like Lake Norman. Down around Lake Norman, they never really thought much about it, but as the lake got lower last year, and they had kind of a drought down there in North Carolina, and they found the municipal waste that was discharged back.
Well, let me make sure we're using the same definitions. Medicinal waste is the fluids from the people who are taking prescriptions. Is that the definition?
Yes, it could be antibiotics, it could be cancer medicines. Some of that stuff.
But let's make sure. I'm going to walk slowly through this because you're doing a good job, but I'm much too slow for you. So you're saying the water people, they don't measure the cleanliness of the water to see that the prescription drugs have been taken. So when you're drinking tap water, you're drinking other people's prescriptions?
No, because I'm actually a licensed sewer builder, and I'm very familiar with water systems, and even in Akron. And one of the things is, a drop of water, they say, takes 99 years once it hits the top of the ground to go down, 100 feet. So, it's purified at 25 feet down. So if you look at the minerals that are in the water for basically a sewer system, once that water is seeped into the ground, which most septic systems are built to where the water actually evaporates. That's why the lines are put into the ground, they're gravel. If you look out there, you see the green lines in people's lawns in the septic system. That's water coming up, that's not water going down. So it evaporates, condensation comes up to the ground, most of it. But even that, you're not pumping raw septic into your line. Your sediments are caught in the first tank. The second tank catches most of it too, and then the rest of it goes into your basically your leach lines.
So are you saying that well water is better than the city water because of the medicinal refuse?
Yes, and you can even look at that because, of course, Akron's down from the Kent, and the Kent State up there, Kent State in the Cuyahoga River, there's a plant up there that basically discharges.
The city of Kent has the purest, freshest tap water in this part of America.
Yeah, I know it does, but once you go downriver from there, it gets discharged there. Municipal waste now.
Well, but if you mix it with a little booze, it don't taste bad at all.
No, it doesn't. But one of the things that they do not check water for that's being discharged is medicinal waste, and that's becoming a huge problem. And you look at all the hospitals. You got Akron General, you got City, you got St. Thomas, you got your hospitals there in Akron. And where do you think that when they give people barium and all this other, where do you think that goes? That goes right down the sewer.
Well, of course, and then they clean it to perfection.
You can't get it out of there.
I mean, you're the expert on the subject, but I'm sure the water coming out of the tap is as pure as mountain fresh.
Well, you can go online and you can look and see what they test.
No, I don't want to go on. I don't believe anything online.
But I'm saying they tell you what they test the water for.
Yeah.
They don't tell you what they don't test the water for.
Okay.
And that's one of the big things that's becoming. It's huge. And some of these big septic systems, especially in the smaller towns, they're not set up to handle that kind of water. A lot of them discharge it back into local reservoirs and places like that.
Well, then definitely don't drink over at your grandma's house then, right?
Well, she's got some of the medication some of these people are taking. It's crazy.
Well, but wait a second.
Highly toxic.
Anybody who goes to the doctor today, they force 4 or 5 prescriptions on everybody.
Oh, I know. I looked at my windowsill about a year ago. I couldn't believe some of the stuff that I was...
You have to speak into the mouthpiece of the phone, sir.
I said I looked at my windowsill about a year ago, and I couldn't believe some of the medications I had on. I just finally covered everything, But I mean, it's crazy that...
Oh, you got rid of all your You got rid of all your prescriptions?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that wouldn't be a good idea. Well, but thank you for your expertise on the subject. We appreciate it very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very kindly. It's amazing. This radio program, from time to time, I was just using that as an example, we keep referring to when you're speaking on your phone, folks, you ought to speak into the mouthpiece of the phone. I never thought after 40 years of this that I would have to be telling America how to use a telephone.
WNIR would like to thank listener Richard Ward for providing the recording he made of Howie's program on June 14th of last year. Mr. Ward also recorded approximately 75 minutes of Howie's last broadcast on June 15th and 45 minutes of Howie's program on June 11th. You can purchase Howie's last June 15th program on CD for $15, including shipping, or the total set of 4 CDs for only $30. That's about 4 hours of Howie's last programs. To order CDs of Howie's last programs, call Richard Ward at 330-546-6379 or or email him at ward3829@yahoo.com. That's WARD3829@yahoo.com. Again, call Richard Ward at 330-546-6379 or email him at ward3829@yahoo.com. WNIR is not selling these CDs and will not receive any compensation for them. And we thank Mr. Ward for providing this service to WNIR listeners and Howie's fans.
Well, you heard about those. You buy 2 tires, you get 2 free. Did you ever read the fine print? There's no such thing. There's no such thing as buy 2 tires, get 2 free. They wouldn't be in business. After the sneaky fine print, you're buying 4 tires. It's as simple as that. Installation fees, shop fees, all those sneaky small print fees. But that doesn't happen at Leopold. At Leopold Tire, they just give you real value. There aren't any sales. There aren't any disposal fees, shop fees, installation fees. Your price is exactly as they quote you. It's all up front. For 38 years, people have decided Leopold's the better way. Come to Leopold Tire, State Road south of Broad Boulevard in Cuyahoga Falls, and on Darrow Road south of Graham in Stowe. Shop smart, shop Leopold Tire, family owned and customer driven.
This is the talk of Akron, WNIR 100 FM. Call now, 330-673-1234. Toll free from anywhere, 800-669-4100. Now here's Howie Chizek.
We're going to heat up over the weekend. We should be dry right until Tuesday, with a possibility of touching 90 Sunday. Hi, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Is that me, Howie?
Yes, it is, sir.
How's my phone sound?
You sound fine.
Okay, wonderful. You never know with a $50 phone. Howie, I'd just like to play the devil's advocate about the Ku Klux Klan.
The Ku Klux Klan wants a stretch of highway to clean up so they can get their sign, a name on a sign in northern Georgia.
Okay. Well, my point is, and I don't subscribe to, everything they believe, and, I understand that they did some horrible things back in the day. But every other little minority group gets their space in the media to present their cause, their case. And
I would probably, I know where you're going, and when I turn on my cable TV, there is a channel by Al Qaeda, is there not? It's Al Jazeera. It's over by the public television.
Right.
Al Jazeera Television.
yeah.
So let me be honest with you. If Al Jazeera, Al Qaeda's television, can legally exist, then how in the world can you the nice lady who brought the subject up said you can't stop them. If they haven't done anything wrong, doesn't matter what their grandpa did, right?
Absolutely.
They would have to
exactly.
be, and you may think it's embarrassing, but I never saw the cable people cancel the Al Qaeda programs, right?
Exactly. That's my point. And they've made it very clear. Iran's made it very clear they hate the blue-eyed devil.
Well, that's nice. I have brown eyes.
Well, you lucked out.
Thanks.
Anyway, first time caller. I've been listening for over and a half.
You're very kind. What do you make of the father of Trayvon Martin, who's on YouTube? You're familiar with the shooting in Florida, I'm sure.
Yeah, I am.
All right, so the father has a nice message talking about this is the first Father's Day without his son, and he has a right to say whatever he wants on YouTube. But then he says it becomes a commercial. Go to your state legislators and have them repeal your state stand your ground law. So I'm beginning to think, first this was just a nice thing on his part. Now this is a commercial, and somebody put him up to it. Either politically or for money. They want the stand your ground laws done away with. Well, the stand your ground laws keep criminals in check.
Absolutely, Howie. I lived in South Florida off and on several years each time, and it doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in. No one approaches your car because they don't know whether you're packing or not.
So when I first heard Trayvon Martin's father talk, and I think it was the 11 o'clock news, I thought that was a nice thing he was talking about his son. But then somebody has gotten to him. There's no way that this father, all of a sudden by himself, makes an announcement or a video on YouTube to have people do away with the stand your ground laws. This is possibly a paid event, and this is in poor taste.
That's what it sounds like to me. I think you're right, Howie.
Well, thank you for your nice call.
Have a fine day.
Thank you. Folks, you don't have to agree with me that easy. He was very nice. Trayvon Martin's father is in a little bit of a eulogy plus a commercial. Have your state do away with the stand your ground laws so that all your thugs and criminals can harass you, rob you, and murder you. I don't like that idea. We passed these laws to keep you criminals in check. Agree or disagree? And we're talking about sewers and waters and things. Hi, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Where are the white women at?
They're at my house. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Howard, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Regarding your question of the day, I'm wondering, where does Jesse White fit in the picture?
Jesse White, the Maytag repairman, was the stimulus of this concept. He, of course, was from Akron and passed away.
Yeah, and grew up in Akron and Cleveland. But here's the way I look at it. You have the broken washing machine that has been restored to a functional level. Functional is not as good as optimal, but it's functional.
No, that's not correct. Our current economy is broken. Obama is saying that today in Cleveland at Tri-C. He says the economy's broken. It's not his fault. He inherited that. Well, we hired him to fix it. He didn't fix it. Bring in the next repairman.
Okay, well, from a personal standpoint, I consider it functional.
Well, because you and I live in Ohio, thanks to Governor Kasich and the energy program and the casino gambling and all this other building, Ohio is better off than most of America. But I don't want to go there with that long, lengthy business. Blah, 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 blah. The point is, do you want to keep the same repairman? He hasn't fixed the job.
Well, I'm just saying from where it was, where the washing machine wasn't working at all, it's now working, but not at the optimal level.
Yeah, but wait a second. The reason why the washer wasn't working so well was because the Muslims attacked it.
Well, that's just the way it goes.
Oh, I see. Because the Muslims attacked our washer and killed the economy under Bush. That's just the way it goes. He got reelected too. He didn't fix the washer because he had a Muslim sitting on it, right?
Well, again, that's just the way it goes.
Oh, it's just the way it goes. Because the previous president, who had the washer going very well, had his pants down in the washer.
Needed to use the washer for a fast.
That's why he had to wash his clothes. They were soiled. Yeah.
Dry cleaning. But here's the other thing. The other thing to keep in mind is, before you decide to change repairman, reminds me of that old Three Stooges episode, my favorite Three Stooges episode, when they were plumbers. And they went to repair the plumbing at somebody's house.
A rich lady's house.
Yes. You remember?
Always a rich lady's house.
Remember the line that Larry said? He said, "I found out the problem, Mo. The plumbing is clogged with wires." They pulled the wires out of the conduit for the electric part of the house, and water starts flying out of the ceiling, the lighting in the ceiling. And then at the end, the water comes out of the television. So be careful of who you...
I don't know they have television, but that's...
Oh, no, it was one of the first TVs.
Oh, very good. Well, yeah, it must have been a rich lady's house, yes.
Yeah, it was the scene from Niagara Falls, and it was so real the water came out of the tunnel.
Oh, that's marvelous.
But regarding the Trayvon Martin...
What do you think of the father's commentary?
Well, here's the thing to keep in mind, is that even if there was not a stand your ground law, at the time that Trayvon Martin was shot by Zimmerman, Zimmerman is allegedly on the ground being beaten up by Martin. Correct?
Allegedly, yes.
Where was Zimmerman, if that is factually correct, where was Zimmerman supposed to retreat to if he's on the ground being beaten up?
I don't think he could retreat.
Well, then it doesn't matter if you have stand your ground. Even if you don't have stand your ground and are required to retreat as a form of self-defense, if it's available, that form of self-defense was not available.
Yes, but the retreat concept that Ohio once had, Ohio no longer has you are mandatorily